Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This, as you know, is the daily reading. It is a collective reading shared by all who view it when you view it. It is originally created for Friday, the 6th of May. It is not solely set for that date. If you're watching it on a different date, that's okay. Utilize the reading. If it applies, great. Let it apply, so to speak. If it doesn't, that's okay too. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. You just might be working on something different at this time. But you will hear me refer to the underpinning energy. Those are the cards that are read on Sunday at the beginning of the week. And that video populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video if you want to check that out so you can better understand what I'm talking about. So, a couple things you can do if you're new to the channel is please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so you get notified. I do put up a new reading every day, so there's content daily. Leave a question or comment. I do read them all and appreciate them. I will answer them. And it creates activity on the account, which YouTube likes to see. So it does help me. It is a service, or it is not a service. What am I thinking? It is a gesture that you can do that helps to create interest in the account, and YouTube's algorithm sees that, and I think it helps. Also, hit that like button, which is the content button. If you enjoyed the content, that helps too. It keeps YouTube seeing that people are engaging and enjoying the content that I put out, and they will then thus put my videos out to new viewers. Also, if you want, please share the video out, like to your social groups, on your web pages, your Instagram, your Facebooks, hey, some of you might even still be on MySpace. Share it out to MySpace. I don't give a shit. But just share it out wherever it's wanted, not anywhere where it's going to get you into trouble or anything like that, okay? So let's see what the cards have in store for us today. What do they want us to know? And each one of you, too, just so you know, you're going to experience this slightly differently. Oh, I also say this. Please check out the drop-down menu underneath the video. So that you can understand the house rules kind of thing, how to get in touch with me if you want a private reading, things I want you to think about while utilizing any of my readings, and just general stuff. How to, follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Okay, let's see what the cards want us to know. So we have the Knight of Swords today. Interesting little hat they've put on him. I will say that. He looks kind of like a mushroom to me. The Knight of Swords. He's instantly the first thing that catches my eye, or that I think of when I look at this particular Knight of Swords. Even though he is in the direction of the traditional Knight of Swords, you usually get a 3/4 view. This guy's a side view, a full side view. He looks like he is pointed directly to the past. And swords is our mind, right? So swords represents the mental realm. So our mind, our thoughts, how we communicate, how we express those thoughts. That's generally the meaning behind the sword suit. Knights are oftentimes, they can symbolize people of the air signs, right? So you could be potentially interacting with a significant Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini today. But from a different standpoint, where I'm looking at this from a more personal point of view, is I feel like people might be fixated, or viewers might be fixated on their past, trying to make sense of it, trying to sort through it. And the reason why I say that is not only do I have this side view of him where he's directly pointed towards what I consider the past of the reading, right? But he is like astute. He's like standing upright. He really seems like he's paying attention. He's looking, he's processing. He's swords, right? He's our mind at work. The fact that he's a knight speaks to this idea of service, right? So in some way, shape, or form, some of you might be trying to make sense of something that went on in the past, trying to understand it, trying to equate it, trying to maybe zero it out in a way. Or I get the feeling this is in an effort to be able to move forward. We have to revisit the past. is kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this night today. So if we find ourselves in our minds thinking about the past, and I don't get a sense of regret from him at all. It's more like, because he's the knight, there's a duty to him. And I'm not talking about the kind that we sometimes make in our pants when oh my God, did I just say that? This is why I shouldn't do these readings so early in the morning. Anyways, sorry, I have potty humor. That's just who I am. There's a sense of duty with the knights. No, I'm not going to be able to say that. I'm going to have to say it like 10 more times before the video is over. One more time. There's a sense of duty with the knights that I think is noble, and there's a strength to them, right? And so when I look at this guy, sometimes the Knight of Swords can be seen as like jumping in too quickly, maybe not necessarily thinking things through all the way. That's not the vibe that I get from this knight. The vibe that I get from this knight is like, okay, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to like flesh it out, put it on the table, right? Kind of sort it out, make a better mental understanding of it so that I can then turn my horse around and move towards the future. Does that make sense? And there's the reason why I'm saying that, also another reason that's like kind of hitting me too, is that the horse, which is generally depicted in like a traditional Rider-Waite deck as a white horse, it's usually galloping really quickly. This is like maybe a canter, if that. And it's also, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's a white horse. This horse is also white, but so is this knight, right? His clothing doesn't even look silver to me. Like, it doesn't look like a typical knight's armor. Does that make sense? There's a purity to him. Like, so when I look at this, his astute, like tall back, straight facing, looking to the past, slow roll horse, straight up sword is like, okay, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to understand this. I'm going to, maybe make sense of it or revisit it so that I can take care of it, be done with it, and move forward. Does that make sense? And I don't get that normal traditional rushing in or moving quickly that the Knight of Swords usually depicts. This Knight of Swords in this particular deck with this particular art is giving me a way different message. He's like, no, wait. Suzanne, we need to like look at this, and we need to be free of this, right? And ultimately, like, I like the reason why one aspect that I like about the sword suit is that swords cut things away in the end, right? Swords, although our mind can be a little tricky place to deal with, and our thoughts are definitely like, they create our reality. They can be dangerous. They can cut us, but we can also use that sword to sort of cut away what's not needed. And thought-wise or communication-wise. So I feel like that's what this knight is doing, right? Some of you could be even like sort of, now as I'm saying that, I'm kind of getting this impression that some of you could be making a decision to maybe cut off communication with others or end relationships, but you're giving it a one final look, a one final revisit. Personally, is the feeling that I get. There's something about him being underneath this hat and sort of masked up where you can't see him that says that we're doing this on an individual level. It's not necessarily like we're explaining it to somebody else why we're, about the past. We're trying to make sense of our case, right? This is not about that. This is about our internal mind, our thoughts around a scenario or a situation that maybe we weren't okay with for, say, quite some time, right? And so now we are being brave, we're being strong, we're being astute, we're being what's the word I'm looking for here? Technical is not the right word, but I almost feel like there's a sterility to this night, right? Where we're not allowing in the emotionality of whatever it is that we're looking at from the past. We're able to look at it through almost like a barrier or a strength that, like, I hope this is making sense to somebody out there. You're going to have to comment and let me know. But I feel like this knight is looking at something that used to be emotionally charged for them and now is no longer. And in this process, we're able to stare it square in the face and look at it, assess it, and almost transform it through the addressing of it, if that makes sense. Okay. Each one of you, if there's more of you than one of you that this makes sense 4, you're each going to be revisiting something different from your past. But whatever it is, the sense that I get from this card is that it used to push your buttons emotionally, probably, even mentally, but not anymore. Right? This knight is strong. He's astute. He's pure. He's like standing straight. He knows like what he needs to do. He's not, and I gotta say this too, there's like a clarity to this Knight of Swords where he's not, his sword is upright and strong too. It's not necessarily there to fight. We're not fighting against our thoughts in this. We're not fighting against our memories of whatever the situation is. We're really looking at it from almost a very like clear, airy, because it is air element, right? But a very detached, and detached is a good word. And then what's the other word? Like, I want to say specimen, but that's not right. It's just too early in the morning. It's like a detached assessment of the past. And in doing so, it frees us up to move forward. Now, I want to look at Sunday's cards because I can't remember because I am, a little tired and just woken up. But Sunday, I believe we had the 10 of Wands. So in the midweek was the Knight of Pentacles, which is that grounded, slow moving energy and steadiness. But we're now in Friday's reading, so we would be shifting out of that slow moving Knight of Pentacles energy, which also kind of coincides and dovetails nicely with the Knight of Swords, because we're still in that Knight sense of duty and honor and that sense of honest work. The Knight of Pentacles is very plodding in a good way, steady, working towards his goal step by step. This is like the mental aspect of that, working towards that goal. Does that make sense? And that's why I also don't get this sense of speed or rushing through this. It's really like sitting with it, facing it, looking at how we think about it, how we communicate around it within ourselves, and then kind of getting ready to let this go. And the let go, if I'm being completely honest, is that 10 of Wands, right? 10 of Wands is always indicative of, in a traditional Rider-Waite, it is a gentleman that is holding on to a stack of wands on his back, and he's so close to the finish line, and it kind of gives that symbolism. 10s are about completions. They go from 10 down to numerologically the number 1, which brings us back to ourselves, but at a deeper layer. That Wands is a fire card, right? Fire element. The Knight of Swords is air. Air and fire feed one another. They are complementary to one another. So as this Knight of Swords sort of, works his way through the past, the thoughts of the past, the things that maybe used to trigger us, that maybe used to get us, we're getting ready to kind of, in a way, make sense of them, come to terms with them, be strong amongst them, and understand that they no longer like hold the power that they used to, so that then that 10 of Wands can kick in the underpinning and allow us to release that off of our spirit. Release that off of our load, or our the maybe the mental baggage or the emotional baggage, or whatever the baggage is for you that you were carrying. Now is the point where we get to take an impartial look at it, an assessment from a place of strength and purity, and then hopefully transform our thoughts or how we communicate around it personally within our own world, within our own mind, so that we can let it go. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, then it's not your reading, and if it does, more power to you, because I get a real sense of like strength and productivity with this night today. It may not, and I'll say this, right? It may not be the easiest revisit for some of you as far as whatever it is you're looking at, but whatever it is that you are revisiting and looking at, you are doing it in such a clean way, and that's maybe where the sterility comes in, where the strength comes in this night, that I really feel good about it. I feel like this may be a long time coming for some of you, and there's a like a growth in this that needs to be acknowledged from you. If you're feeling this card, if you're feeling this reading, acknowledge the fact that you've become stronger over time, through due process, through whatever, that has enabled you to take this impartial look, to take this steady gaze, to revisit the past and not let it like overwhelm you or envelop you, but allows you to go like, okay, I see what that was about. I understand what I learned there. It may have not have been the best of situations, but you know what? I went through it. I survived it. I know this now because of it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's got that sort of a vibe. And then, like, I get this sort of nights don't necessarily offer up completion, right? But I get this sense that this is to complete something because of that oncoming Ten of Wands, which should be kind of the underpin here, right? There's something that we're letting off of our spirit, but first we have to revisit it in our thoughts, because our thoughts and our emotions can deeply affect the spirit and how we carry ourselves through our life. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys. Sorry to be so long-winded. Let's see what the Sacred Traveler has to say. I just think it needs to be acknowledged, because I get this sense of like work has been done here. Whether we realize it or not, we're able to look at this differently or interact with it differently. And we should be acknowledging that too. All right, so Sacred Traveler. Boom. Let's get it out here and get it. Gates of Triumph. I will take it, guys, because that's what I feel like he is doing. Success expands in your life. We are walking through a different door here, guys. There's a new path that we want to head on, but we need to revisit the past to kind of clear that stuff away so that we can move through, so that we can be triumphant, so that we can let go of whatever that Ten of Wands load is on our spirit and move beyond, start new again. Remember, the 10 then becomes the 1, which is the ace, which is the new beginning, right? So this Gates of Triumph says to me, job well done. You've come through the forest, right? The darkness of the forest of maybe our mind, our heart, our soul, and we're moving forward. There's one last minute revisit, right? But we can do it. And then we get to move forward in Gates of Triumph, like feeling different, more whole, more complete, and ready for, that sun there at the end of that path, ready for new paths, new opportunities, and new days to dawn. Right? The sun shines light, positivity, and energy onto everything that it hits. So, we're just almost there, if not there, right? That gate is sitting right in front of us. So do the internal work, the mental work that you need to do, or stare down in the face today and allow yourself to, understand that you're stronger and in a different place than you once were, and that is a triumphant achievement. And now we can move forward in that triumph towards something new. Let me read you Gates of Triumph. I like it when the cards do this, because to me, it feels like a very clear story today. All right, I don't have my glasses, so it may not be a very clear reading of the book, but you'll deal with it. You all know me. Gates of Triumph. Success expands in your life. The meaning. The gates of triumph are waiting to open deep and wide for you. Inner and outer success is coming your way. Thriving is a state of mind. Accept that you can reach any goal you desire, and even more victories will expand in your life. The more you feel it, the more love, prosperity, fame, and fortune will pour into your life. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know, arriving in a foreign hamlet, wreaths of flowers are placed around the Sacred Traveler's shoulders. The townspeople, this is giving me very much Six of Wands vibes as I'm picturing this reading. The townspeople celebrate and honor the traveler. The village elders know the challenges faced and overcome, and are welcoming with open arms. If a situation knocks you over, get up and brush yourself off and discover what you learned. You aren't a failure if you fall down, only if you stay down. So, oh, that's beautiful. So that almost made me cry. So keep going, but you all know me, and if a slight breeze can make me cry, to be honest. So keep going and believe in yourself. This is what true success is. Acknowledge your accomplishments in life. They are more than you imagine. Victory, good fortune, and triumph are at hand. I really love that reading. I think that's beautiful. How is thing? Is that your bone? Thank you for bringing me your bone. Let's look to the grounding stone and see what the grounding stone is for today. And remember, too, that the grounding stone from Sunday is the word enjoy, which we've seen twice this week. Right? So enjoy this process as it begins to sort of transform you, right? And transform you to this place, or this shift in path perception into this place of the gate of triumph. And here is the grounding stone. It is clarity. Sorry, it's so like it's got glue on it because it broke, and I had to like re-glue it with what do you call it? Like super glue. But it is clarity. And what I like about this is not only is it like it's on marble, which is that a very strong stone, right? So I love that, even though the stone broke a long time ago in the bag when I dropped the bag. But I love that it's got the white of the night, right? But it's also got the, the little bits of marbleization, the grayness in there that we're working our way through, right? That we're clearing away. And that is the clarity that we seek today. Clarity of the mind, clarity of the past, resolutions is repeating in my head, right? So some of you might be coming to mental resolutions around certain situations, and clarity, grounding in that clarity, understanding that you have the strength, the purity, the clarity to move yourself forward through the past, through your thoughts of the past, through, whatever it is you're working with, and moving yourself towards that gates of triumph. Being able to release this is a big deal. So ground in this process, ground in your mental clarity and your strength, your astuteness, your intelligence, right, today. And remember to enjoy all of this entire process, even if it's, I don't get the feeling that it's triggery at all. This night is like totally, I don't want to say uninvolved, but there's a detachment and a strength to him that I really, really liked as I'm looking at this reading. I feel like we're really in a good place to assess some stuff, find that clarity, and move forward and enjoy the whole process of it all. What a wonderful Friday reading. And we will end the week with tomorrow's reading. So please tune in to see how that finishes out, because with that 10 of Wands, we will be releasing something. And I love that, these cards are kind of coinciding so nicely. Please hit the like, share, comment, subscribe, or please do that for me. It greatly helps. Sharing greatly helps. If you like my readings, please share them with your friends. Tell people about me. Share them in your groups. Send people to my channel. And please leave a question, comment, and a thumbs up. And have a wonderful day, you guys. And enjoy this. Be clear. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.